We're talking about this man, a war hero, a space pioneer, and a U.S. Senator tonight for remembering John Glenn, the former astronaut who died today in Columbus, Ohio at the age of 95. And you and I have been talking so much today. First, let's talk about John Glenn.
Yeah, what an extraordinary man. He was the last of the original 7 astronauts. And for Dana and me and so much of us who know what that phrase means, it meant so much to Americans. These guys were in a space race, in a Cold War. They were the guys with the right stuff, with guts to spare, and none more glorified than John Glenn.
Clock is operating. We're underway.
John Glenn flew into space in February 1962 and immediately soared into history.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth, circling the globe 3 times in the Friendship 7 capsule and leaving the nation transfixed. And his return to Earth was cause for a ticker tape parade worthy of a Lindbergh.
There's nothing like a ticker tape parade in New York City and being right in the middle of it. It's a wonderful experience. There was such an outpouring of emotion that day.
He was such a hero, he was grounded. NASA was afraid of an accident, so it would not be until Glenn turned 77 years old that he would return to space on the Space Shuttle Discovery.
To help older people here on Earth escape some of the frailties of old age. That's the purpose of why I'm here.
Glenn was born in Ohio in 1921. A war hero, he flew nearly 150 missions in World War II and Korea before being chosen as one of the original 7 astronauts.
It was true brotherhood on launch day.
But after the space program, Glenn had another career as a 4-term U.S. Senator from Ohio. He even once ran for president. His long life was capped in 2012 when President Obama awarded him the Medal of Freedom.
The first American to orbit the Earth. John Glenn became a hero in every sense of the word.
And this afternoon from NASA, a simple farewell tweet for an extraordinary American. Godspeed, John Glenn. The iconic space phrase. Now, his other love in addition to space, John Glenn's wife of 60 years, Annie. John Glenn was 95 years old, and Dana, Tom Wolfe, who wrote The Right Stuff, the great book and the movie, he said recently that John Glenn was the last true national hero America has ever had.
I so believe that.
And you got to meet him, right?
Growing up in Ohio, yes, and I met him. I want to say I was very, very young, and my father had taken me somewhere, and it's like, this is John Glenn and Annie Glenn, and, you know, I'm like,
yeah.
Because he was that in those times, and especially for Ohio. And also, when I was older doing stories for the CBS station, they're going to the school named after John Glenn, the place where he went to college.
And little kids like me who watched the space program and got to meet him when we were older.
Yes,
it's
so
hard
different
to explain to people what it means and what this man meant to this nation.
Yes, a loss.
Yes.
A giant he was. Thank you, Dick.